A town vanished overnight, no bodies, no trace, only water that tasted like blood. This is the true horror of the 2025 Texas flood. Not just a natural disaster, but something far older. Beneath the storm surge, beneath the drowned homes, something ancient stirred. Something Mesopotamian. Something cursed. This story connects two floods. One modern, one mythical. One killed 31 people. The other nearly ended humanity. By late April, rain pounded East Texas for 18 days straight. Meteorologists were baffled. Not just by the volume, but by the pattern, as if something wasn't done with the land. By May 1st, over 50 inches had fallen in parts of Harris, Montgomery, and Liberty counties. Entire neighborhoods were submerged. The Trinity River, once a modest waterway, grew to swallow bridges and highways. But the epicenter wasn't Houston. It was a forgotten town called New Caney, a rural area just 45 minutes north. There, 117 people vanished. No media coverage explained why this town got the worst of it. The official line? Flash flooding. Except there were no emergency alerts, no evacuation orders, and no bodies. Just empty homes, cracked pavement, and mud that smelled like sulfur. Locals began whispering. It wasn't a flood. It was a punishment. Same thing happened in 1901. My granddaddy was a boy. Whole settlement gone. We don't say the town's name out loud. Then one strange clue emerged. A single stone tablet, unearthed by a farmer near the site. Etched in it were cuneiform symbols, perfectly preserved. Experts identified it as Sumerian, from nearly 5,000 years ago. But how did Sumerian writing end up in rural Texas? Back in 1884, the region once known as New Caney was settled by a group of oil prospectors and archaeologists. Yes, archaeologists, who claimed to have returned from British-controlled Iraq with artifacts of divine knowledge. One of them, Dr. Emery C. Weller, a rogue scholar banned from Oxford, had led an illegal excavation in Eridu, the oldest known city in Mesopotamia. His journal, discovered decades later, contains this line. "We took the stone of Utu. The priest warned us. The flood god marks what was stolen. We laughed. That night it rained for 11 days. Our guide drowned himself in mud." The artifact in question? A black obsidian tablet said to invoke the power of Enki, the Sumerian god of fresh water and chaos. Weller smuggled it back to Texas. Within a year, his entire family was dead. His house burned down in a lightning storm during a sudden flash flood. All that remained was the stone. It passed from hand to hand across decades, ending up in a local Masonic lodge. Until it was stolen in April 2025, days before the flood. Coincidence? Or was something triggered? Here's what they won't tell you on the news. 1. Declassified NOAA satellite data, April 27, 2025. There was a circular anomaly 4.3 miles wide hovering over New Caney. Lightning struck the center 41 times in 1 hour, all bolts converging on a 60-acre stretch of land. This data was pulled within 48 hours. 2. The Eridu pattern. Researchers in 1933 found that ancient Eridu had its own flood myth, eerily similar to Genesis. But here's the twist. In that myth, the god Enki warns a man, Zayusudra, of a coming flood meant to wipe clean a cursed civilization. It was said the waters would come again every 3,600 years if the black stone awakens. 2025 minus 3,600 is equal to 1,575 BCE, the last recorded flood disaster in southern Iraq. 3. Local legends. Indigenous tribes in the East Texas area had stories passed down of a sky lake, where rain would fall like screams. They described the earth bleeding, not just flooding. Elders said settlers had awakened the foreign gods and refused to live there after 1901. 4. Missing person reports. Of the 117 missing in New Caney, only one body was found, a teen girl named Carly Mejia. Her skin showed signs of rapid decomposition despite being underwater for just 24 hours. Toxicology revealed strange compounds, including bitumen, used in ancient mummification rituals. So what really happened in Texas? Was it climate change? Sure. But climate doesn't target a single forgotten town, erase all its people, and spit out a stone that predates the Bible. Ask yourself, how did ancient Mesopotamian writing end up in a small town with no museum, no Middle Eastern population, and no record of archaeological activity? Why was the flood so surgical, so contained, yet so unrelenting? Could it be that something ancient, a warning, a curse, has been echoing through time? That what we call natural disasters are sometimes reminders? And if so, what else is waiting to wake up? Because the waters may have receded, but the stone was never found. If the victims still scream, they do so in silence, beneath the flood, beneath the dirt, waiting to be heard again.